up, Daniel? What's up, Cody?
Yeah,
Let's see Ryan up there. What's up, Ryan. Loki. Greg.
All right, welcome everybody. NorCal Sports Network. Giants get a much-needed win. Looked much better tonight. Played pretty sound baseball. Didn't see any real blunders. They were fortunate to get out of the first inning, and the Giants avoid the sweep, which was big. I mean, not only did you avoid the sweep, but you beat the Dodgers. You had to beat them.
You got to beat the Dodgers, man.
You got to beat them. You can't go 0-6. So, yeah, it's a great win for the Giants. Logan Webb looked like he might really lose it in the first inning, throwing 31 pitches, but got the fly out. Who was it that flied out there? Was it Hernandez there? And then Hernandez, was it his next at bat or the two at bats later? He hits one that's gone into Matos's glove as he robs him of a home run.
Get rid of that fence, man. Just put a padded wall.
Oh,
get rid of that fence.
Gosh.
That's almost two players that have gotten wiped out because of that.
I mean, that little
wall. Does
Slater too. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Same thing with Slater. Yeah.
It's the just make it a padded wall.
Just make it a padded wall.
What is but the bullpen can't see
through
the
freaking chairs that are higher and they can look over the damn wall.
Yeah. I don't know, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, they got to get rid of that.
That step thing, he could have tore his knee up bad.
He could have, right?
He could have easily got that thing stuck in the. I mean, I don't like chain link fences it's too easy to get your cleats caught into, but it's just ridiculous. But they've got to do something, make it plexiglass or something that's if you got to see it through it or whatever. I don't know, but get rid of the chain link fence, please.
Yeah, I got to get rid of that.
But
hey, the story today, young kids again, right? Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. Yaz hits a 2-run home run, which is
that was a big home run by Yaz.
I'm liking what I'm seeing from Ramos and Matos. I mean, it tells you something, and I still wonder, Dan, if that's what it was with Matos when he got sent down to AAA, if he was just pissed off.
I think so.
Playing pissed off because now that he's up here, it doesn't look like he's overmatched. What do you think, Cody? Do you think Matos or Ramos look overmatched with MLB pitching that they faced so far?
No, I mean, I think Matos showed last year he can handle MLB pitching just fine. Last year, it felt simply, it genuinely felt like had he had this added muscle that he has now last season, there never would have been any question. He would have been a major leaguer this season from the get-go.
Right.
Like,
he was. Yeah. Very, very true. Very true. Also tonight, and I think Cody will want to address this. Huge difference between having Casali behind the dish versus Sable when it comes to just. I mean, just you could tell just the confidence of the.
He's a professional. He's a professional.
Calling the pitches, and you could tell by the pitch selection tonight of Duvall. Just like, okay, we're not going to Mickey Mouse around. We're going to mix in certain things. I mean, a lot of times Duvall relies on one pitch for 4 or 5 pitches, and he just wants to stay with the slider, or he'll go fastball fast. I mean, he had some good mixing tonight. Mix it up. It was just, I think the Giants are going to be a much better. I don't even understand, Casali was a free agent. Why you signed Murphy when Casali was available in the beginning?
They had Casali in the past.
And Murphy's not a defensive catcher.
Defensive catcher.
I don't get it. And,
And here's another thing. Did you notice that Logan Webb, even though he had to navigate some rough seas. I mean, he's lucky he didn't get a crooked number in both the first and the second inning. But one thing I like what he did, and something that the Dodgers crushed him on in Dodger Stadium, is he laid off that changeup. I guess the Dodgers supposedly are like one of the top teams to hit the changeup, and he laid off of it. And he was getting a lot of strikeouts with that two-seam movement on his fastball. So it was nice to see that, it's like, hey, you know what? I'm not going to, even though I like my changeup, he didn't try to force it. And he kept going to what was working. And he was able to get out of those innings. And he was actually able to go, what was that, 6 innings? I mean, that was incredible. After, Dan, we were talking in a green room, he went 30-plus pitches in the first inning.
Yeah. I mean, just looking at some of these things in the chat. Yeah. Nick says, what's he got here? $1.99. Thanks, Nick. Check out the Bums on Chapman play. Yeah. I don't know if that's in this chat or in Twitter, but
no, it's in Twitter. It's in Twitter.
Okay. I haven't read. Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. Cody, you're pretty young relative to me. What'd you think of Chapman's attempt to stretch a single with 1 out in the 8th, down 5 runs into a double last night? Good aggressive play, or not sound baseball?
I mean, when you're down 5 late in a game and you need base runners, putting yourself at risk, I don't think I would ever consider that sound baseball. Now, I mean, I give Chapman some credit in the sense that, the guy has the mentality of like, he's going to do everything he can trying to win games. And he's always played that way, going back to Oakland and even in Toronto and everything. So, he's aggressive. He goes 100%. Like it's hard to tell guys like that to dial it back.
But don't you think you need to understand situational baseball?
Yes. It was a lack of situational awareness for sure.
Yeah. I mean, you're down 5, you got 1 out, you need base runners. It's kind of like a team with, up 5 runs, and they play the infield in trying to get the guy at the plate instead of just giving up, guy on third, less than 2 out. They go for the throw at the plate, and then the guy's safe at first, guy's safe at home, and all of a sudden you got to rally, take the out. Anyway, it's just whatever. It's a lot of Ross Grimsley, former major league player, pitched for the Reds in the World Series in 72, went to the Orioles, then on to the Expos, where he won 20 games in 1978. He actually got involved in the thread and just started saying this. A lot of people don't understand the game today. They think it's like Little League, just run as far as you can until you get out. There's not a lot of fundamentals anymore. Today's game is all about launch angle and home runs. And and
look at 2-strike approaches.
Yeah.
It says all you need to know.
unless you're Shohei Ohtani, because that at bat, you got to give him credit. That at bat he had against Doval, he wasn't trying to kill it, and he just poked it out there to keep the line moving. So
I wonder what Dave Fleming was saying tonight about the called strikes.
Oh, I bet you he wasn't saying a damn thing.
Because those were outside.
Ohtani got rung up twice on. Two call. I mean, one of them was pretty close, but I mean, they were both outside. He was getting. One was low and the other one was outside. Yeah,
that umpire was missing. And then the guy in the Dodgers threw 2 strikes, like for call strike 3.
I saw that.
And I'm like, I would have loved to have heard Fleming tonight.
You know who the home plate umpire was?
Yeah, I know who it was.
Wendell's
Boone.
Yeah, exactly. It was the guy who tossed Boone for what the guy behind him said.
It don't matter. You're out.
Who is? Soler is coming off the IL, I believe, Friday.
Oh, real quick before we get into that, you noticed Luciano wasn't in the lineup. I knew
that
was going to happen.
I think he's going down.
Yeah, he's going down.
I think he's going down on Friday. I don't even know why would you just bring him up for an emergency?
They just needed a body, right?
They should have just brought VR up. I mean, he's already on the 40 man, and if you aren't going to play Luciano, let him play in sack.
Yeah,
Made no sense.
Exactly. Yeah, I didn't understand that.
I kind of figured that's what it was going to be. I mean, where were they going to play him?
I mean, why not? I mean, that again, that is a Farhan move, not a Melvin move. I guarantee it, because Sable was DHing. Why not make?
Yeah, that's what we said. Why don't we?
Had so many issues with your catcher. What happens if Sable got hurt in the game?
Good
as
point.
a DH, and then Casale goes down. You have no catchers. You had Luciano on the bench. I mean, is it that big of a deal to have a left-handed hitter versus? I mean, come on. You brought Luciano up. Give him some at bats. But if he goes 3 for 3 with let's say Luciano goes 3 for 4 with 2 bombs. Now, what's Farhan going to do? Send him down?
Yeah.
See,
it kind of, Dan, that kind of reminds me in the beginning of the season. Remember,
I was going to bring it up.
Okay, there you go.
Just going to bring it up.
Yep.
Yeah. Matos came up in San Diego, and he sat him. And he didn't when Yaz was out on maternity leave. Paternity leave, I guess you would call it. Paternity, not maternity. He's out, and I'm convinced Farhan said, don't play Matos, because if he went off in the series, then it's like, oh, crud. Now I got Slater or Yaz coming back from being home with his baby, and I'm going to bench him. He's going to lose his job for being with his baby because now Matos is looking good. See, this is Farhan is.
And here's the problem from spring training. Look what Matos did during spring training, right? He did everything he can to try to get a spot on the 26 man, right? He did everything he can. Ramos had a great spring. And what happened to both of those guys? They wind up sending them packing.
Yeah.
Over Slater and Yaz. Don't get me wrong. Yaz had a great game today.
Oh, they sent Ramos down. They sent Ramos down.
Yeah,
they sent them
in camp.
Yeah, he didn't even get into exactly.
Yeah,
but Matos should have had that 26 or the 26th spot. He should have had it. And it doesn't make sense. See why you would pick Slater over Matos. And Dan, and maybe that exacerbated the issue with Matos in AAA. Remember, first off, he didn't get on the roster. Second off, you bring him up for the San Diego series and you didn't even play the guy.
Right. I mean, he
pissed him off.
There's some, yeah. I love seeing Matos. I mean, he hits the ball hard. He swings. He's got great bat speed. I think he's probably better in left field than center field, even though he does have the ability to go up and make some we saw that last year, but he doesn't consistently take good routes to the ball and doesn't always get a great jump. So
he's better coming in than going back.
Yeah.
And
during the series, fine. It was only Ramos and Matos that had RBIs other than Yaz's 2-run shot.
Right.
They had all the RBIs.
Yeah, exactly. And for my critics out there, let's Roman. Dan's prized possession. Casey is struggling right now, which is no crime against struggling. He's playing great defense. He's, but he is struggling. He's chasing some sliders away. But look at Pajes. We saw him get off to a pretty good start. Now they're figuring him out. Pajes for the Dodgers will have to make adjustments. And Casey needs more playing time, and he'll make adjustments. He's probably never going to be, a superstar hitter, but his glove plays, and I do think he can hit, given time, 225 to 245 in the big leagues, and he just needs time. Guys, if you think this game is easy, you're mistaken. I mean, it's a tough game. I mean, look at Jackson Holiday, and look at the Evan Carter, struggling, guys that are top 5 prospects in the game. And Jackson Holiday could not stick because it's tough.
It's tough.
And
exactly.
But you know what? If you understand what being in the big leagues is all about, getting these guys at bats and letting them struggle allows them to work on things and make the adjustments. And Casey will have to make adjustments, and he will. And if he doesn't, and he can't hit in the big leagues, he may not stick. But you got to give him a chance, because he's shown the ability to with the glove. He's shown flashes with the bat. Matt Williams, gosh, you guys, some of you guys weren't even around when Matt Williams was up playing in 1987, I believe it was, 86, right in that 87, somewhere in that general vicinity. Oh, man, it was like out. I mean, it was just strikeout after strikeout. I mean, just he could not hit a curve to save his life. They sent him down a couple times, back up, down, up, and then 700 bats in his first 3 seasons. He's hitting 200 as a big leaguer. 700 at bats. That's like over a season. And all of a sudden, the 4th year, he gets it, and he starts smashing. He's hitting over 270, 35 homers plus, and then he just has a blistering, almost borderline Hall of Fame career. So I'm not saying Casey's ever going to – I don't think Casey Schmitt is in the realm of Matt Williams when it comes to the bat. But you got to
get that super chat. Let me get that super chat.
Yeah, this one, I just saw that. Yeah. And you got to give these guys an opportunity.
Way Woo Way. $2. Thanks, Sarah. Says Ramos and Matos had 8 of the Giants' 10 RBIs last 3 games. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yep. Thank you. Appreciate it.
8 of 10, guys. 8 of 10. And
sending a message.
Dan,
that's more RBIs than what Soler has in
what will it take for me to wear this hat during a Giants loss? The residency hat is too cool not to rock on daily. Yeah, this is a pretty good. This is a pretty nice hat. Yeah. I don't know. I switch up. I just play around with hats. I wore what did I wear today out? Can't remember which hat I had on today, but
hey, let me ask Cody something here. One thing that I've noticed the last few outings, Mr. Sean Jelly, what is going to what kind of adjustments did he make? Because the guy is looking really good, and even his presence on them. Have you noticed the presence on his on the mound? He looks. He's kind of exudes that confidence of what he's doing out there. What do you think? What's going on with him?
Yeah. I mean, I need to take a look at like the actual data on that, because I swear it seems like his velocity's up a tiny bit. The curveball seems really sharp. I mean, but like you said, I think it's a presence, confidence,
because it's hard.
Attacking. Yeah, exactly. And he's attacking the zone. He's not. I felt like he always nibbled a bit, and he just didn't have great stuff. And you fall behind a bunch of guys, walk guys, then you come in and you don't have the best stuff. You're throwing it.
So maybe he's just challenging more, maybe trusting in his stuff, type of thing. Maybe again, just like it is with most of baseball, it's mental. Maybe that's what it was.
I mean, that's a guy I was advocating for getting DFA'd earlier, and I'm glad he's proven me wrong. He looks like an actual piece right now, especially coming out of the pen, and he's one of the bright spots in the pen.
Right,
guys like him and Rodriguez, who, I mean, for the love of God, I'd love if Bomel could get him in a game in a clean inning for once, and not put him in all these kind of crappy situations. Yeah, but
and you kind of touched on it on your minor league report, but what about Crawford up to AAA? Maybe he's going to be a bullpen piece come later on in the season, because they only really got him going just 2 innings max, right?
Yeah, he's maxing at like 30 to. I don't know what his exact highest pitch count is so far. I think it's like 31. He might have hit up near 34.
Yeah, that pin definitely has to get right, because there's holes for sure. I mean, you've got Tyler coming in today. He gave up a run. It could have been much uglier.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been uglier.
Rogers come in, man. Either of them, I'm just like, man. I don't know.
You get the most frustrating stuff too, because he gives up those little like duck snort hits and 14 hoppers through the hole, and it's like but it happens all the time. So at some point, it's like, okay, when does it stop being kind of fluky when they do this regularly with him?
Exactly. And here's and this is something, Cody, that I think another thing the Giants are going to have to really look at, starting pitching depth, because Wynn looks like they said it was a mild inflammation of his elbow or something. It's to me, this is just me. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but that sounds like a bunch of freaking horse hockey to me, man. They're making an excuse. These last 3 starts where he is crap the bed, it's, oh, he was sick. Oh, he was tipping his pitches. Oh, his elbows are. Come on. I'm tired of it. So either they get him out of that starting rotation spot because it's leaking oil, or they're going to have to do something because you got. And if Snell doesn't come back, this is going to be tough.
Yeah. I mean, I personally, I think Wynn should be in the bullpen. I don't think he's a starter. This guy has been hit at every single level in his professional career. I mean, and I get it. He, a little extra velocity, the splitter, the slider. There's things to like, but as guys see him more, like, he's not super deceptive. He has good stuff, but as guys see him more than once, he gets hit. And this is now the third instance of either elbow soreness or forearm, which a lot of times is related to the elbow.
Right.
In the last, 12 months? I mean, he had it last year around midseason.
You're totally right on this, Cody. And did you hear what he said? When did you start feeling it? And he said late at the end of the 4th inning. What the heck is he going out in the 5th for? What's Melvin sending him out in the 5th inning for? This guy's had a history of arm problems. He's had Tommy John. Yeah. Are we that desperate that we got to go throw a guy who's having already experiencing some little bit of stiffness there? He says he's starting to feel it. Why send him out? They
are, because you're answering the question. They're desperate because
they're desperate for innings because they don't want to use the bullpen. Well, you know what? How about
Mason Black?
How about not sending? How about not calling up an extra guy like Luciano and sticking him on the end of the bench and bringing up an extra pitcher? Then, if you're that desperate for, geez,
they mismanaged him last year too. Remember what they were doing with Wynn and Beck? They were always. They were doing that piggyback bullshit. They throw 1 with 3 throw innings and another one coming in 3. You never stretch them out. So when it comes time for them to start having to be a starting pitcher and go at least 6 innings, they're unable to do that. And that is something that I have said from the very beginning, that the 2 pitchers that would concern me the most was Wynn and Hicks, as far as, innings pitched. And can you suffice as a starting pitcher? So, and we're seeing it right now with Wynn. I don't think it's working, and it's going to have to be Mason Black. What other starting? There's nobody else, right? It's Mason Black.
Yeah, on the 40 man, it's Mason Black.
Okay,
and you're going to have Cobb soon-ish, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if we can.
What is? Can we get a? What is that? What is that comment?
I'm glad we didn't wait until after May to start our turnaround and run. Oh, come on!
Is that sarcasm or is that a serious?
I think that's sarcasm. I think that's sarcasm. It's got to be sarcasm. I know LD. That's sarcasm.
Okay.
That's sarcasm.
Got to be sarcasm.
And answered Ben Bamboo's no Wisenhunt. He's not on the 40 man.
He's not on the 40.
He's not going to get. I don't see him
getting. Who are we talking about?
Wisenhunt.
Oh, yeah.
Who had another great outing today. But, I mean, he's been up and down in sack. And I think Shanahan there asked a few times when I think he's going to come. And realistically, probably 2025. Unless the season just circles the toilet at some point. Then maybe you see him this year. But I doubt it until next season.
The Giants, believe it, as bad as they're playing, they're only a game. This is how bad baseball's gotten.
Well, National League.
NL is a joke.
Nationally, 1.5 games out of the 3rd wild card spot, and what are they? 5? What are the Giants' record? 20-24? No, 20-25.
Yeah,
they're 5 games under 500, and they're basically 2 games away from possibly being in the wild card spot if things fell right. They could literally win the next 2. and be in the wild card position, 3 games under 500. Okay.
Got
All
the
right.
hottest team in baseball.
Coming, the Colorado Rockies. 7
that's
straight.
crazy. 7 straight, man.
Well, so yeah.
And it started with that last game against the Giants, right?
Yeah.
That's where it started.
It did. Yeah, the bats woke up. So as we look at the box score tonight, I want to get to this because
you want to bring it up? I already have it ready.
Okay. Yeah. Yaz goes 2 for 4. Has raised his average 23 points in the last couple of games. He was hitting 200.
He was hitting 200 2 nights ago. Yeah.
Now he's up to 223. But Yaz does this. He'll do this for 2 to 5 games.
And then he has another 5 games where he's.
Then he has another 5-game stretch where he goes like 1 for 20. And Estrada's, 1 for 4. Chapman 0 for 3. Wade 0 for 3. But how many walks tonight? 1 or 2? 1. Okay. Ramos with the big hit. 1 for 4. Matos with the big hit. Now, why do they still have? Can we see how many bats Matos has? I thought he just started.
Yeah, I don't know why it says 250, man.
He keeps saying 250. I thought he was. I think he's 4 for 12.
He's glitched, man. He's
glitched. 0 for 4. He had that one game he played in San Diego.
Oh, that's right.
The one where Flores took a spill over the dugout.
Right. So he's 4 for 16.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
I forgot about that. That's right. I forgot.
What would we do without Cody? Thanks, Cody. Appreciate that.
Forgot he got into one of those games.
Sable still doing decent.
Still swinging it. Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I know they were trying him out at first a little bit in sack. I only saw him play a handful of games.
And Casale,
obviously, you're not doing it right now. Not with Wade playing as well as he is, but I was bringing up on the video I did today that if this team does go just epic sideways, which they're not right now, like Will says, they're only a game and a half out.
Yep.
But a lot of injuries, things can happen if they do go down. Wade is a guy I think you'd be stupid not to think about moving if it goes sideways.
It's going to be interesting the moves that are going to happen when some of these guys come back.
Yeah, I think Luciano, they should go put him at first base right now.
That's what I'm saying.
Honestly,
I've been saying this for the last 2-3 nights. Get Luciano to play first base. You can play that position as a shortstop. Plus, he's not a 5'11" shortstop. He's 6'2". So he's got a great, target at first base. He's not, you don't want to throw to a small guy across the diamond. You want to see that big target.
Yeah.
So it makes your throwing lane or it just gives you a bigger area for not having to throw it perfect. When you got a short first baseman, it's kind of hard to, this is why I love a 6'4", ideally a 6'4" plus left-handed first baseman like Willie Mack. Those guys, they can stretch. And Wade's not too bad. He's playing all right at first. I don't have any real issues, but Luciano could be, there's 4 positions basically on the field. I guess he could also play third someday, but he's short, left field, right field, or first base. And I think first base would be an ideal spot for him because especially if Ramos and Matos come through and they hit. All right. Let's say Ramos and Matos. Hey, Eric, can you pull up Twitter, please? My Twitter.
Yeah.
I'm going to segue into something here.
Segue.
If Ramos and Matos can play the field, and then you got Lee, now it's like, and who's going to? And if you don't think Casey, or not Casey, but Marco's your answer at shortstop, you got to find a spot for him. It could be DH, but why waste DH if you can always find another hitter? If you don't have a really legitimate big pop and power hitting first baseman. And Luciano could do that. He could be like Pete Alonso. Yeah. Seriously. He could, I don't think he'd hit 50 or 40 plus, but he could hit 30 homers in the big leagues, especially if you said, Marco, we need you to drive the ball, hit the ball. Don't worry about the Ks. They'll come. But now what I want to do is get into the Cody's report on the we kind of covered the game tonight. Giants played well. No errors, no miscues mentally, sound game. Didn't get a ton of hits, 7, but got timely hits. Even Yaz's home run came after Casale hit the, didn't it look like Casale was trying to go to right too? You saw that big hole?
I missed that hit.
Looked like he just popped it in where
he got a hit and he walked.
Yeah.
Can't argue with that, right?
Sally's the guy that you get up for your bio break.
Yeah. So Yaz gets the big clutch hit, and then Ramos comes through with a clutch hit to make it 3-1 or 3-0. And then it becomes 3-1, and Matos comes up with a clutch hit. Something the veterans really haven't been able to do all season is come up with hits with runners in scoring positions. So feel really good and happy about that. That was great. And
Ramos has been doing that in SAC a lot.
Yes,
he has.
So let's get into this report. First of all, we're going to start it off with a inside the park.
That's what I thought. I have it right on it. Yep.
Home run.
Go Hunter.
Yeah.
Hunter Bishop,
nice.
Who also singled earlier in the game to right field. Now he goes oppo. And I'm telling you, this guy has some speed. Okay. He's
fast.
He's fast. He's a big kid. Reminds me of Cody Bellinger body type. A little bit bigger than Bellinger, but here it is, guys.
Hold on. Let me get this right. All right.
Blow it up a little bit. Yeah. Blow it up.
There we go. If I go any, I don't know if I could. It's gonna. Yeah, we're good there.
Oh, you are.
Here we go.
Okay.
Here we go.
Sound. Okay. Here we go.
A swing and a fly ball toward the left field line, moving to his right, diving, unable to come up with it is Vargas, and the ball's going to roll into the left field corner. Brooks hitting third base. He will score easily. Hitting third base is Bishop. This could be an inside the Parker, and it is.
He's around those bases pretty quick.
Nice.
Sutter Health Park as Hunter Bishop with an inside the park home run. Miguel Vargas sprinting to the line, had a dive.
Yeah, he's a bigger dude than I thought.
Up with it, and the ball had the type of spin that kept it rolling to the corner. And given Bishop speed, it became an.
There you go.
I'll tell you what, he may be ready to make it up next year. He may be.
They have a spot for him, right?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
Where are they?
I'll tell you what.
What do you do?
If he's available and ready, and he looks like he's a player, he's gonna get the nod over any of Sabian, Bobby Evans, old guys, because that was Farhan's first pick. But Farhan may not be here next year to put him in there. But
you're saying that's your first baseman.
Just start sticking everyone over there.
Everyone's getting it first. I mean, there's only so many positions. It can't be a DH because you got freaking Soler that made him whatever.
I know his athleticism, honestly.
The outfield is right. It's Lee for sure in center. The corners should be Matos and Ramos.
We'll see.
Next year.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I mean, I think you get a really good feel. The one thing, the silver lining, you hate to see guys get hurt, especially Lee,
Yeah.
especially Lee, because Conforto, he'll be
That was
back.
tough.
He'll be back in a few weeks, 4 or 5 weeks, whatever, but he's also not part of the future. You hate to see a guy like Lee lose this whole season because that's an experience that he's going to miss all the different things of, traveling
Learning to be a big leaguer. Exactly.
all the big league parks, learning to the ins and outs of each player, their tendencies. He's missing all of that. So that kind of sucks. But the silver lining is Matos and Ramos are playing every day. And so far, after 3-4 games, they're showing, their wherewithal and that they belong. I want to see them continue to get the play. And, hopefully it works itself out that Conforto and Slater don't come back. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, we have no room for these guys.
How about this guy?
This was impressive.
It's the big lefty. You got a green light on 3-0. It's a deep fly ball. Left field. Jones going back. Jones going to watch this one sail out of here. That's a 3-run home run for Bryce Eldridge.
Nice. Hey, did they move the
start here for the San Jose Giants? There's some
they moved
power showed off from Bryce Eldridge going the opposite way.
Boy, is that Ben Kaspic doing the announcement?
Yeah, I know.
Put me to sleep.
Road announcer.
Oh, it was a road announcer. Okay,
Yeah.
still pretty.
Anytime you're
That was an
minor league,
opposite
it's
field
always
shot,
the
too.
Yeah,
Opposite field shot.
monotone. They put A, but Joe Rizzo is up at AAA now, right? That's Joe Rizzo with SAC.
Yeah, I was gonna say that sounded like Joe Rizzo. I was gonna say that.
He's been announcing
Does a
SAC
good job.
games. I like Joe. I sat with him and had a good long talk with him last year in the press box in the spring training. Good guy.
Hey, Senior, you going out there Friday night? What are you doing, man? Let me know.
So anyway, back Cody, give us your minor league report. Floor
Yeah, it
is
was a good
yours.
report. Basically, AA and AAA suck except for pitching.
honestly,
Oops, wrong one.
AAA, AA, and high A combined for 2 wins last week.
Lighten it up.
Yeah, I mean Eugene is still in first place in the Northwest League, and SAC is still up there. I think they're like second in the PCL. But I mean, what do we expect from SAC? They lost half their team.
Right. Yep.
And but San Jose they went 3-3. They're still sitting around 500, and Eldridge turned it around. I know we mentioned last Wednesday he had that 3-hit game. He went 9 for 23 on the week with a couple doubles, a walk, and only 4 Ks. So, and then he knocked out that home run today, which was nice to see. So he's actually a guy. I mean, I've said it about Soto, even though Soto's not coming here, but I always said like a guy like that. That's the kind of lefty that can play in this park because they have power to all fields.
Mm-hmm.
And what I sent out today was Eldridge is a guy that legitimately as a left-hander could hit 40 in Oracle because he can hit it foul pole over the fence. So I think
that's why the guys were going when Giants were going after Harper or Ohtani twice or Judge. Those are the guys who could pop it over. And Eldridge, maybe he fits that type of mold. We'll see. More to come.
Yeah, he has the power. It's just, does it develop into the guy that can consistently do it? That's the big question. But I mean, there were some good things that came out of them. Landon Roop had a nice 4-inning start in SAC. They're starting to stretch him out. Obviously, he's a guy that only threw like 30 innings last season and then had the back injuries. And this season they didn't stretch him out in spring training because they were putting him in that bullpen role. So they're starting to get him up. He threw about 60 pitches. Hayden Birdsong had another good start, 5 innings.
Good. I was going to ask you about him.
Yeah, he's got 3+ pitches. He really showcased his curveball in this last one. He was just freezing guys all over. His splitter, I still say his splitter could end up being his best pitch if he kind of gets the control down on that.
Is that is the splitter, do you think, the new sexy pitch that all the pitchers want to learn now because it's so
It's
effective.
so good if you can control it and you can locate it down. Birdsong, like I've seen him throw a few where he gets it down in the zone, and guys are like front foot flailing at a pitch that's bouncing before the plate. I mean, it's gross, and he throws it off a 98-mile-an-hour fastball. So
Interesting.
it's just
Because I know Wisenhunt has been talked about his changeup. So
Yeah.
I didn't realize that Birdsong had similar stuff. Interesting.
Wisenhunt has better control, I think, with the changeup. So
and it's
he
from
has
the left side too, which is nasty.
he has that out pitch that he can actually control, which that's a weapon. But his fastball doesn't have it's not as deceptive off of it or anything. So he's got some work he's got to do with those. But I think with that changeup, he'll figure it out at some point. And he's had some really good outings in sack. It's just, I mean, you see it with almost every pitcher in the Giants system. There's a lot of guys that have explosive arms, and it's just a matter of can they throw strikes, and that's going to be what it is. As they come up, the guys that can't throw strikes aren't going to stick in the rotation,
Right?
That's for sure. So, yeah, I mean, there were some good, not a lot offense, especially if you look in Richmond. I mean, you could pretty much skip everybody that hit in that team. Jonah Cox had another huge week down in San Jose. He's a guy that's the guy they got for stripling.
He's a little bit older, right? You said he's 23.
Yeah,
you said in the report. They need to move him
Yeah.
up. I think you said that too. They need to move him up.
I mean, he's hitting 350 in San Jose.
Come on.
I'd have to look at the exact numbers, but I mean, I think he's got like 20 steals already, it feels like. And
It sounds like Von Braun 2.0.
yeah, I mean, that's possible. And that's my thing is move him up so we can start figuring out what you actually have out of the guy.
Do you think they feel like maybe they push Von Braun too fast, and that's why they're not moving up Cox, because Von Braun hit a wall all of a sudden after tearing up low A, high A, goes to double A, starts tearing it up, and then gets hurt.
Yeah.
Injury kind of did Von Braun in though, right?
Yeah, but now that he's healthy, he's not.
He's hurt again.
He's always struck out a ton though. That's
Is he hurt again?
Yeah, you said he's been out for a week, right, Cody?
Yeah. So Baggerly actually touched on it in his article today. I guess he got the flu really bad and lost some weight, and they gave him like an extra week off or something to try and get some of the weight back on.
What kind of flu did you?
I feel for the guy, but
probably those spike proteins eating him up.
Yeah, some bad chorizo. But
that'll do it.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, that could be the case. With the older prospects, it's like what is Jonah Cox honestly going to get out of sitting in San Jose and just beating up on a bunch of 19-year-olds? Like, he's way better than those guys right now. So move him up and start figuring out, what he has at a more challenging level. And I think Quinn McDaniel falls in that a little bit. He's not as old as Jonah Cox, but he's doing the same thing to high A right now, where he's just week in and week out producing. So, yeah. But yeah, not a whole lot going on down on the farm last week. It was a rough week kind of down the line. So
it's going to be interesting to see how you're going to for next week with AAA, because all those guys are up with San Francisco. So I'm wondering if it's going to be. I mean, you got Hunter Bishop though. It looks like you're going to have some fun stuff to talk about Hunter. So we'll see.
And I mean, I typically leave any of the guys out that are in San Francisco, even if they're on their top prospect list, because we're all watching those guys already. So I'll touch on them when I go to those other videos. But
that makes sense.
I might have to just do San Francisco River Cats as part of my minor league update, because half the team is up there.
That's pretty good. Hey, I liked your video on talking about whether Farhan should be fired. Interesting. I like it. It was good.
Yeah. And for those that haven't seen it, like, I mean, to me,
check it out.
Yeah. To me, like, I was kind of just trying to be as objective. I mean, like, you guys know how I feel about it. And many of the people that have watched any of my other videos, like, I don't think the guy deserves to still be here. But I was just trying to look at it objectively. Like, is there a pathway for him to keep his job, even if they don't make the playoffs? And I think that there is, but he would have to completely change the way he operates and how he's operated.
I haven't seen I haven't seen your video, but I would say, I guess, in my opinion, the only pathway to keep his job is bring up the young guys, let them play. Mm-hmm. They have success. They see progress, and he makes some decent trades with some of the vets that he's got stuck, that maybe like a Soler and a Chapman, and he doesn't bring them. He gets rid of those guys and Snell, and he gets these young guys playing, and they play well. And he says, I'm just going to let Melvin run the club, and I'm not going to make any, suggestions. I'll give him the material and then let him do it. But that's the only way, if they don't make the playoffs, that I see. Is that kind of what you said, or
Yeah. I mean, the way I put it was, I mean, essentially what you just said. Like, they're going to have to get the young guys up, at least multiple position players. And, they have Harrison, who looks good. They have, Black has had some moments, and, they have some young pitching. But for me, it's like, you need multiple position players to show up and look good. You're going to have to move a guy like Conforto at the minimum. You're going to have to move. And to me, a prudent thing to do might be to go, maybe Baltimore calls you, and
I like that idea, Cody.
Baltimore goes, hey, we want Camilo Duvall. With the prudent move, if they offer, a lot of people don't know this, but Baltimore's number 3 and number 4 prospects are the number 21 and number 23 prospects in baseball. It's Mayo and Kjerstad, and they're both in AAA right now with major league experience.
Yeah,
it's like, if they call you and say, hey, we'll give you one of these guys for Duvall, who kind of perfectly fits what they need. They need a closer. They need controllable, young, cheap players, which is kind of what they need too.
How about if you give me 3 of them? Give me Cowser too, and we'll and give me 3 of them, and we'll throw in Webb
too, and then right. I mean, I think you could get one of those 2, and then maybe another guy that's like not in the top 100.
How about you add Luciano? How about Duvall and Luciano?
Yeah,
but no room for Luciano.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think you acquire as much young talent as possible.
Yeah, right.
And
Wade to be a trade.
This is why I would be playing Luciano right now. His value, they've run his value down pretty much by not trusting he could play. Let's see what he can do.
You think so? I think that's what they're afraid of. I think they're afraid if they play him in the major leagues, that his value goes down.
Well, they better trade him. Too. They better trade him soon then.
Yes.
Not like Farhan's ever traded anyone when they're at peak value. Otherwise Lamont Wade would get shipped out this season. Like, he doesn't allocate his assets properly.
Nope, he does not. So buy low, sell high, everybody.
Yeah. And
somebody says here about the playoffs, talking about this. And Farhan, I think the worst thing the Giants can happen to them is if they make the playoffs and get bounced in the first round and Farhan comes back. If they get in the playoffs with like 83, 84 wins and they get knocked out round 1 and then they bring Farhan back because he made the playoffs, that's like 21. That's a setback. You're better off, if you make the playoffs and you win a round or 2. I'm not saying you have to make the NLCS, but if let's say you win the wild card round and you win the NL division series and you get to the NLCS and lose, I think that's, you can argue that he did enough to keep his job. But I don't want to see the Giants just get into the playoffs and lose. It's like a consolation prize getting in with 84 wins.
Here's another thing. The fans out there that want to support Farhan, if you want to, so be it. But look, this 1 year is not going to make a difference to me. And I'll tell you why. He's had 6 years. Well, we'll say 5 years prior to this one.
Wait a minute. That's you only had 4 fingers up.
Yeah, my camera got in the way. What are you going to do? I mean, it's 5 years. He's shown that he hasn't been able to get it done. It's 5 years. And that's the issue that I have. And I'm not going to sit there and keep giving him another year, keep giving him another year.
They
'Cause
should
that's
just
crap.
move. They should just move on. If you
They
even
should
if
have
you-
moved on last year, but whatever. They didn't.
Yeah, I mean, I
And
think
that's
the only
issue.
yeah
That's the
he's
issue I have.
Yeah.
you know, but
Yeah.
anyway, go
Oh,
ahead, Cody. Sorry about that.
Yeah, to answer a few. Oh, yeah. And I mean, the gist I was saying is that he just would have to demonstrate that there's some kind of
Yes.
future. Like that, to me, that's it. Like you
And
have
that's one
to
thing he
show
hasn't done. It's been
there's a
1 year deals.
vision, there's a future to where this club is headed. Not this, we're going to go all in like year to play everything year to year.
Mhm.
And
Right.
no one knows what you're going to see the following year.
Right.
And,
'cause
I'm
you-
going to answer something in the chat I've been seeing. I am not saying I want to trade Camilo Duvall. This is if the season goes to crap, basically. Because
Yeah,
and
right.
and who's going to be the closer? If you're a 60 to 70 win team, who cares?
Who cares?
Like,
Thank you.
need talent.
Yeah,
Like that's the
Thank
reality.
you, Cody. Exactly, because you got
So-
Crawford coming up, who could possibly be
Yeah.
another
I love
Rodriguez.
Randy
Rodriguez.
Yep.
Yep.
I love that guy.
Yeah.
He has closer stuff. And
Gosh, man.
he's similar to Duvall when Duvall came up a little wild,
Yep.
but throws 100 miles an hour with a just unhittable slider at times. And when he throws strikes, he's dominant. And I think he could end up developing pretty quickly.
You know
So
who might make a a decent closer someday? We talked about him earlier tonight, but Keaton Wynn, if he's just got to throw
Yeah.
one inning, the guy can bring it at 97, 98. And then with that nasty splitter,
Max effort for 15 pitches, you're good to go.
and don't pitch him more than 2 days in a row.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe try and give him 2 days off instead of giving him 1 day off and pitching him on day 4. I mean, because you just have to utilize certain situations, obviously. But I think Keaton Wynn, because he's got electric stuff, but like you said, Eric, they nail him the second time around.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So who's I mean, in your opinion, Cody, who's got a shot to make it up to the club this year that's either in AA or AAA if somebody else or a couple guys go down?
Yeah. That's down there now. Guys that I think that could possibly be on the club. I mean, Mason Black's the obvious one. He's on the 40-man now. He's already been up, made a couple starts. Landon Roop, I could see coming back up. Juan Sanchez is a name to look out for. He struggled in the last couple outings, but he's a nice little lefty out of the pen. He was unhittable for like his first 10 or 12 appearances or so. But yeah, I mean, it's hard because everyone that we thought might make it up is already up now because everybody else got hurt. So
I got to acknowledge this. I'm sorry. I got to acknowledge this. Robert, have you taken a nap today? I know it's 1 o'clock in the morning in New York, so maybe you're a little bit foggy. No way you trade Webb or Duvall unless it's for Bonds, man. What are you talking about, Robert? Dude, okay, answer me this, Robert. If you could trade Duvall for a bat, a good bat, and
let's say if you trade Bonds, let's say if you traded him for Kyle Tucker.
Yeah. It leads you to the postseason, would you be against it? If you're able to trade Duvall to get an elite bat and you go to the playoffs, would you say that's a bad move? Bonds. Get out of here, Robert. Come on, man.
And to be clear, I don't think Webb's going anywhere, even if the season.
No, I don't think so either.
I think Webb's a guy that they won't move him. But I don't even think they'll move Duvall. I don't think they would make that trade.
I don't think they will either. But
that's all.
I don't see it happening either. My point in all of it is, you're gonna at some point have to break this thing down and rebuild it, and you don't have a lot of trade pieces of value. Your biggest value pieces are Logan Webb in this order, according to even the trade analysis. It's Webb, Duvall, and Harrison.
And Matos was up there.
Matos was up there, and then Bryce Eldridge is like 5th or 6th most valuable trade commodity in the Giants organization. You guys, if you guys think anybody else has a lot of value, they don't. They don't.
Right.
Not according to what, the baseball trade values says is out there. Even, Estrada doesn't have much. Wade doesn't have a lot.
No.
Who else? Conforto has very little. Yaz has nothing. Slater, nothing. Schmitt doesn't have a lot of value in a trade. Hicks, little bit more with Hicks now that he's showing and he's signed. But what are we laughing at? What are you seeing there?
Would the Yankees ever trade Mariano Rivera? They didn't have to. Have you seen how the Yankees were stacked during the Mariano Rivera's time? Did you see the lineup for the Yankees, Robert? Dude, do you watch? You're from New York, man. What's going on?
The Yankees had.
Dude, have you been taking Dan's gummies? Because you're not making.
Hey, wait a minute. They're not my gummies. I don't have any gummies. I took one time.
My God, man!
Don't make me sound like a gummy.
Yankees got like Jeter and Oru and Tino and Bernie and Matsui, and the Giants have freaking Wilmer Flores and Yaz and.
Come on, Robert. I know you're better than that. Come on, do better. Man, do you see what we have to deal with, Cody?
Yeah, I haven't started doing the live shows yet, so I've been able to avoid that. I'm going to start doing them here, but yeah. Oh man,
they're fun,
dude,
though. They're a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Well, come on, Eddie. You only can take so much. You can only take so much.
Yeah, I like that one, Eddie. Let me highlight that one.
Yeah.
Relax, Eric. After 3 years of Robert, you're still letting him wind you up like this. Yeah, he's got Eric on a string. He
does.
He pulls him in. He's your kryptonite. Robert's your kryptonite. Giovanni.
I have to acknowledge, just for the simple, for the sanctity of the game of baseball, you have to acknowledge that. Oh, would the Yankees ever trade Mariano Rivera? Come on.
You're also talking about the greatest closer of all time.
I know. The greatest closer of all time.
It's like Duvall get a third of the way to Mariano Rivera.
That's the problem with some of these Giants fans. They equate Duvall to being Mariano Rivera.
Yeah.
What Northern Lights says Encarnacion considering passing on signing with the Giants? What's he probably heard about Farhan, that he's going to just get used?
Oh, no. I mean,
he's in the Mexican League. Who cares?
Yeah, that's the thing. The numbers he put up were in the Mexican League.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't care. There's only one guy in the Mexican League that probably could be successful in the majors, and it's Bauer. And that's
Trevor
Bauer,
Bauer,
Hey, Rich, Giants believe they can win with this team? Well, guess what? The team that they have together right now wasn't the team that Farhan put together.
Robert Rothberg living rent-free in Eric's head.
Yeah, I know, right? So you tell me, if Soler and Yaz and Slater and Ahmed, if they were still in the lineup, do you think they're going to be doing what these young kids are doing right now? Come on. They weren't doing it before.
Do you think Rothberg is Giovanni?
Slater needs to get his house listed on Zillow.
Will? No. Because remember, Robert, he came on Larry's show that one time, right?
Yeah.
So
that was what I was just thinking there. I was just thinking that. Throw that poll out there.
That's a good one. Oh, here we go. Let's do that. That'd be fun.
Throw that poll out there.
Cody's like on this show, like, why am I on with these guys, man?
No, man, I love it.
Who is going to get tossed? Well, Robert's not an antagonist, though. He's not.
He just comes up with some crazy ideas.
Yeah, Robert is not an antagonist. He's sincere. Giovanni's a troll. Okay, Giovanni is a troll, man. That guy gets. Well, I was just gonna almost said something I shouldn't have said, but Oh, yes. Mario Trutonic is the worst. That guy, we threw him out, and then he tried to make a comeback over on Larry's channel, and he got tossed on Larry's channel, taking shots at me because of my dog. Yeah. How low can you go? I lost my dog, and he takes a shot at it. Wow.
No, that's
really bad.
That's wrong, man.
Yeah. I mean, gosh. That invites bad karma on you. I'm telling you. Hey, you know who I haven't seen in the chat the last 2 nights? I hope we didn't, send him out. Is TN out there?
Oh, you know what? I didn't see him last night. Yeah.
Man, I hope we didn't lose him. He had a lot of good stuff to say.
No, he was a good sport, it seemed like.
Yeah.
All right, it's out there. It's out there.
Sometimes something like that happens.
All right, the poll's out there.
Poll is out there. Oh gosh, we're getting the TN jokes now. I think we saw enough of TN.
Oh my God, that was some fun though.
Yeah, that was some fun. I hope he makes it back. Anyway, have him back on the show because I thought he made some great comments the other night, and I'd love to get your thoughts on this, Cody. We had a guest on the other night. His name was Tyler.
Senior with Russo.
TN initials. He said he didn't think the Giants. He thought they needed to tear it down. He really didn't think that even their players that they have in the minors were anything spectacular. That they were just kind of meh. That the guys won't be anything really special, even in the big leagues. And that, I think he's including Schmitt, Matos, Ramos, maybe even Luciano. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, does anyone really know? Like at any level? I mean, Logan Webb in 2019, and I know this because off the top of my head, only because I've been seeing some stuff saying like the Giants farm system isn't as good now, isn't even better now than it was then. And it's like, no, it is. Like objectively speaking, it is. We haven't hit, but if you're just looking at the talent, it's better. But like Logan Webb was their 5th ranked prospect back then, behind Sean Anderson.
Oh, that's right. Sean Anderson from the Twins.
Yeah, it's like.
Well, he did get suspended too, right? Logan Webb. Maybe that's why.
Well, yeah, he served the suspension and everything, but he was only, I think, a 4th round draft pick. I mean, it's not like Logan Webb was some super highly touted guy, and now he's one of the better pitchers in the league.
Cody, here's another thing.
No,
to think about here. You're talking about the draft. Giants lose 2 draft picks this upcoming draft. I think that's going to hurt the team because I mean, if you're not going to hit on these guys who are already up. I mean, you lose a 2nd and a 3rd round pick because of Chapman and Snell.
That's why you got to try and. That's why if you make the if let's just say, come trade deadline, they'll be in the mix because the National League stinks. But let's say they're 7-8 games under 500, and it's like, okay. Yeah, the team can make a run, but is it likely? You have to make the calculated risk or calculated decision to say, you know what, we're probably not going anywhere. Let's get something let's get a return on our investment. Go ahead and trade Chapman if you can, if somebody will take him. Go ahead and trade Conforto. Go ahead and trade Snell. I'm hearing Blake Snell. I just saw a report today on Bleacher Report that he's going to be – they're predicting he will be one of the big trade deadline guys.
You could probably still get close to a top 100 guy for him.
You probably could. Hey, you know what?
Yeah.
Because if Snell – let's say Snell's starting to pitch good. You can trade him because there's going to be a team, whether it be the Yankees, the Dodgers, the Orioles, somebody, Phillies, that would be, say, you know what? We want to win it. We're going to go all out, and we need that one extra guy. And people do crazy things for a title, and I would do it unless the Giants are rolling and it looks like the Giants are going to be like a shoe-in to make the wild card, and they're rolling, and all of a sudden bats are waking up and they look like they could be a dangerous team in the playoffs. If not, I'm making moves because you can't waste another year. You do have tradable assets that can bring you decent or to good assets in return. I mean, Snell is one. Chapman to the right team that maybe is down a third baseman that, I've always said Max Muncy goes down. If I'm Farhan, I'm picking the phone up and I'm calling Andrew Friedman and saying, what do you got?
The Dodgers do anything.
I wouldn't care. I mean, I wouldn't care if it helped the Giants. If it helps the Giants, do it. But
that's the issue with these 1-year contracts. So you either trade them and get a piece back, or they'd walk, right? Because that's what Snell's probably going to do next year, anyways, right? He's going to walk.
Well, I'm all for trading Snell to Atlanta or Philly.
Yeah, if his
beat LA,
if his ERA is let's say he brings it down, but he's still struggling. He has 4.5+ ERA, closer to 5. He's probably not going to opt out.
No. It's like when I heard people talking about Robbie Ray, for instance, who, he's coming off Tommy John, and there's a lot of people going, well, if he doesn't opt out, I'm like, the only way he opts out is if he comes back, makes like 12 starts at the end of the year, and dominates, and then they go to the playoffs and he dominates for like 5 more in the playoffs to win a World Series. I'm like, he's not opting out, guys.
Yeah. Oh man. So what else we got, Eric?
Taking a gander. Everyone's giving the love to Robert. We don't hate you, Robert.
No,
we don't hate you.
Robert's a good guy.
You just have some strange comments. We'll say that. Let's go there. Let's go.
Yeah. I mean, okay, if Snell's pitching well and they're fighting, and the Giants are in the play, like looking like they're in the playoffs, you're not going to trade him,
right? That's what Robert. I don't know if you understood, but I was just trying to say. Maybe I didn't say it too clearly, but you don't. I said if the Giants are cruising along and look like a sure bet to make the playoffs, you don't trade these guys that are producing. But if they look like a team that is on the outside looking in, and they're going to have to really play, 650 ball or something in the second half to get in the 600 plus 650 ball to get in the second, to get into the wild card. And you haven't seen it after 90 games, because generally I think the trade deadline is closer to actually about 100 games, maybe even 100 plus. If you haven't seen it, the likelihood that you're going to see it in the last 55, 60 games, forget it. Make the moves.
Richard, tell us why. Now, talk to us here, Richard. Trading Snell is the dumbest trade ever. Tell us why. Explain why trading Snell is the dumbest trade ever. I mean, that's pretty. That's you're putting an exclamation point behind that. You're saying ever. Trading Snell is the dumbest
Giants trades that would have been dumber than
ever. That. When you're saying that, I mean, you're pretty confident in that. So tell me why. Tell me why. I want to hear why.
Here's a question. Is it dumber than trading Brian Reynolds for the ghost of Andrew McCutchen?
According to him, no, because this is ever.
Is it dumber trading George Foster for who was that guy they got with the?
Is it dumber trading Babe Ruth for $100,000?
I don't understand. What will they I don't understand what he's saying. I don't think that was the question. The answer
What will
to my
they say to
question.
your players?
What will they say to your players?
The same thing that a team that's well out of playoff contention says to their players every year. Like, if you're a vet and you're producing,
Trust me, at
see
the
ya.
trade deadline, if there's a team that needs a starting pitcher, especially for the postseason, they're going to get them.
Somebody put in here, though, that Farhan doesn't trade his
that's the issue.
Guys he signs. Here it is. Farhan's signature approach is not to trade away guys he feels he needs. Him trading away players he's picked shows was wrong, and doesn't allow it. It's been his. He gets rid of guys, but he doesn't trade them. He DFAs guys that he picks up for a couple weeks.
You're telling the players you don't believe they can win. No, that's not how it works, Richard. MLB players know the deal when it comes to the trade deadline. Okay?
Last year, you told the players that you didn't believe in them
because you didn't
going out
right
signing AJ Pollock. That made the players feel like, oh, they were in the third position or first position. They were the number one wild card team.
The number one wild card. And this is what we got right here. This is what you're telling players, right? Richard, this is what you told the players on the team. You got AJ Pollock. And then there was a question mark. You know why there's a question mark? Because Farhan didn't get nobody else.
Hey, you're forgetting forever giant Mark Mathias.
Oh, that's right. What happened to Mark?
He's his typical 4A utility guy that who knows where he is. I mean, Donnie Walton. Hey, I think we're sleeping on reliever of the year, Donnie Walton, who I think is now thrown 6 scoreless innings in Sacramento.
What?
Thank you, Mark. Mark, is he a pitcher now?
No, he's just been in a couple blowouts and he's given up no runs in 6
kind of
innings.
like what Fitzgerald's done for the Giants for 3.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he's got a spot. He can be a like he could be the utility infielder and he could be the extra pitcher in the bullpen.
Can't be worse than Mitch White.
Oh, God. Hey, Giants also have Casey Schmitt they could throw.
Yeah. He threw like 95 he threw like 98 a few times across the diamond.
Casey's
where we are. We got 45 votes. 60% Dan with Giovanni and 40% with Eric with Rothberg, talking about who gets more aggravated.
Oh.
You're winning, Dan.
Really? I don't my voice doesn't get that high pitched and go really crazy though, does it?
No, it's not about high pitched, it's about who gets aggravated the most.
I think you do. I'd vote for you.
Hey, I'm gonna pitch in on this whole Beltran for Wheeler thing. I actually at the time, obviously they chose the wrong guy. They should have traded Gary Brown if they could have. In hindsight, they probably would have if it was an option. But I think people forget there's a lot of revisionist history around that trade. People forget they were in first place at the deadline. Like they were 3 games up in the division. They did without a middle of the order hitter. So like there was logic behind it. I can understand it. They were coming off a championship. Like you can make the argument for that one. In no universe can you make an argument for trading Brian Reynolds for Andrew McCutchen coming off a 98 loss season. Like there's no excuse for that.
That was the Giants reaching again.
Yeah.
Trying to pull back.
Infinitely worse trade.
Yeah. Yeah. Just totally trying to, again, pull lightning out of a bottle somehow again, that they were going to go back to the 2014 year. It was tail spinning the second half of 16. It continued into the whole full year of 17. And they thought, we got to do something. Andrew McCutchen, I can't even believe McCutchen is still playing because he was fading then.
I liked him, and he had some cool moments as a Giant. The walk-off
that homer against the Dodgers. Yeah, that walk-off.
I mean, nothing against the guy, but you can't do that coming off 98 losses. Like, it was just an inexcusable trade.
It's
especially
crazy,
when you hadn't produced an all-star outfielder in a billion years, and Brian Reynolds immediately turns into not like a superstar, but he's a star over in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, he's an all-star at least. He's kind of their all-star. What do you think is going to happen with Jung-Hoo Lee? Do you think he comes back and is fully recovered in 2025, or do you think the shoulder it took Bellinger a couple of years. Bellinger kind of changed his swing a little bit, but he came back too
positives. It's
soon.
not his throwing arm. Bellinger, it was the right shoulder. With Lee, it's the left, I believe.
Wait a
So
minute.
it's not
Lee was, or Bellinger's left-handed though, thrower.
Yeah, it's not. I'm saying the positives for Lee. It's not his throwing arm though, so that's a good thing for center
What was
field.
what is Bellinger's right shoulder then?
Yeah, it was his right. So I don't know
Okay.
if it caused more changes because of he's a left-handed hitter. So we'll see how that impacts it. If it has a different effect on him. A good thing for Lee is like his game's not predicated on power.
Right.
So I'm not really concerned. I mean, yeah, there's still kind of like a minimum amount of pop you need out of him. You still got to be able to hit it over some guys' heads occasionally, but he's not a guy that you're worried about dropping from 40 homers to 15 like Bellinger. So I don't know. Next year might be tough. It might take him all the way until 2026 to really fully recover. I mean, you never know with shoulder injuries. Every guy is different. So,
yeah, and Bellinger came back too soon, and because he had surgery in the off season after the 2020 World Series.
Yeah.
And then he tried to come back, and we saw how long it took Conforto to, he missed what, full 12, 14 months or something like that. He missed the whole 22 season.
Yeah, Conforto missed an entire year.
Yeah, and then he
still looked not like.
Right.
I mean, now Conforto in 2021 was about a league average hitter, and in 2023 he was right about a league average hitter again. So, was he just not recovered from the shoulder injury, or is that just kind of what he's turned into? I mean, I don't know. So,
well, hopefully Jung-Hoo can get it right. Hopefully he's makes a full recovery, comes back, because that really, I mean, that, like I said, it hurts their chances, I think, in many ways, but in other ways, it gives them the opportunity to play Matos where there was not a spot for Matos. It looked like they were going to be Ramos or Matos, and now that both of them are playing, I mean, it does seem, I put out a tweet. I was half being sarcastic, but people took me serious. I said, I blame it on Farhan, why all the injuries are happening for not bringing up the young guys. It's karma. Now all these guys are dropping, and they're, and I, talking about Lee getting hurt, Lee's injury, and I don't even think I was talking about Lee's injury. I can't remember, but people took it like that. Jung-Hoo Lee, that was just a freak thing off, those things happen. But I do think that a lot of these injuries that have been happening, minus Jung-Hoo Lee, was kind of a way, because we've been saying it on this show. They're not going to bring anybody up on merit. Doesn't matter what Ramos does in the minors. Doesn't matter what Casey's doing. They're not coming up unless guys get hurt. And then all of a sudden, boom, 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 boom. And now they're all up, and they're showing some signs. Look, they're showing potential that they belong right now, at least for now. And that they kind of, I mean, they scored 10 runs in this series. Was that it? Giants got 10 runs?
10 runs.
8 RBIs by Matos and Ramos.
Right.
Combined. 80% of the runs.
Between both of them, Ramos, I think, is above Matos. I think he's more than shown enough to stay up with the club right now.
Ramos looks like he's
a man on a mission.
He's a man that says, I am not going back down. You're going to have to drag me. I think if they send Ramos back down.
Oh, if they send him down.
Not only is he done with the organization, but I think many fans would be. It would be like if Slater and Conforto come back up. Let's see, who's your outfielders right now? Yaz, Matos, Ramos.
And you have Fitzgerald and Wisely who can play
4.
center.
Don't
some
forget,
of the corners.
Slater's going to be coming off that concussion.
So
Slater needs to put his house for sale on Zillow.
Yeah.
and then
you got four guys, and then Slater would come back and Conforto at some point. That's 2 guys. So that means one of those guys, I don't know, I guess you could send Fitzgerald down, but I just think Matos and Ramos have to play every day. And if that means there's not a spot, for Conforto, maybe I don't know.
I agree.
I think there's a chance they move him down when Conforto comes back.
Who's that? Move who down?
Matos. I could see that happening. I don't know how you could justify Ramos right now. And I mean, people might point to the strikeouts and things like that, but it's like you have to give these guys time to learn how they're getting attacked by pitchers and then see if they adjust.
Yes.
And
right.
And yeah,
they
he
don't
strikes
believe
out a
in
little
that.
bit.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
The pitch they're gonna try and send Ramos is the slider low and away.
Yeah.
That is looking like a fastball.
Yeah.
Starting out as a fastball down the middle, and it's got a
But you know what? The more he sees that, the more he's going to recognize it, the more he's going to lay off.
Yeah.
And he lays off some of them, and sometimes he just can't hold back. And the other one that they've been getting him a little bit with is the fastball up and in, because it's like he's especially in like a 3-2 count, it's like he's expecting it to be a breaking ball and come back into the zone. So he starts and then it almost hits him. So it's
it's
him times on that one. So you got to learn. I mean, he's got to learn how they're going to pitch him. And
then that last strikeout they had, that was a nasty slider. That was a hard breaking slider.
Yeah, you think about it. You have, I saw that thing and I posted it on Twitter. It's 0.4 seconds or something of, can't remember what the number is. It's some insane number you have on a 95 mile per hour fastball to make a decision of, and then it takes another like 0.25 something to
it's a
tell
quarter
your
of a second.
to tell your brain to swing or something, and then it's another so many point something to actually start the swing. It's this process. It's just boom, boom. It is so quick. It's probably, I don't know if there's anything tougher in sports.
I think I know the one you're talking about, and the science is like you have like, what is it, like 2,000th of a second or something like that. It's like something ridiculous. Basically, make a decision to swing or not.
Well, yeah, and it is absolutely insane. And to think that you can put, that little barrel on that ball.
And don't forget, they're both round.
Yeah.
It's a round object hitting another round object coming at 90 miles an hour.
And say 95 is, when Duvall's throwing 100, you're literally, it's like, I don't even know how it's crazy. It's been a long time since I've been in the box, and I don't even remember what I saw. Probably the fastest thing I probably ever saw was probably 85 or something,
That 102 at the
90
outside, like at the knees that he threw Outman.
Oh, gosh.
Grab some pine, dude. Like you're not touching
Robert's saying he posed a question to me.
Best pitcher you ever seen?
Best pitcher I have ever seen. Best pitcher I've ever seen. I would say probably Dalton Jeffries. Best pitcher I have ever seen. I didn't see much of Koufax. He was in the 60s, right? More or less. Seen him on video. But
I think he means in person.
In person. Starter or reliever or anything combined?
Just break them up. Why not?
Yeah, let me think here. Gosh. I would say best pitcher I've ever seen was probably Nolan Ryan. As far as and
that's cool. You got to see him live, huh?
Yeah. And a reliever would probably be Mariano.
For me,
another pitcher I'll say that I did see Bob Gibson, and he was pretty nasty. I thought Dwight Gooden was pretty doggone nasty too.
Yeah.
When he was in his early prime, early years. I mean, Greg Maddux is out there. Yeah. Maddux was awesome. Yeah. J.R. Richards. Yeah. He was scary with Houston. And
I've seen Roger Clemens. Man, that was an awesome game. That night.
Clemens.
He pitched a one-hitter. He was just dominant against the A's. Best reliever, I see. I don't even know. The one that sticks in my mind when I was a kid, I saw Rob Dibble close it out.
Oh, yeah, Rob Dibble with the Reds.
Oh, my God. When you want to talk about popping the glove, you could hear it just throughout the entire park.
I did, Will. I did see Babe. I saw Babe. Fact, Babe signed a ball for me when I was only 7.
Oh man.
Man, what is it? Am I that old for these guys? Come on. I mean, gosh, do I just need to come up and just put a big, just get a hairpiece and just show up and do a facelift, do a tummy tuck? Come on, what is this?
Tape the eyebrows.
And I'm the one that always brings up all the old guys.
Yeah, exactly. This guy's bringing up Honus Wagner and
guy was good.
Abner Doubleday.
No, he was a great general. Well, I shouldn't say great, but he was a general during Gettysburg. Matter of fact.
Yeah. Ryan there. I almost wanted to answer World Series Madison Bumgarner on the greatest pitcher ever.
Oh man, that was
nice.
Brendan, you know who he was? Where's Sean Proctor? I haven't seen him in a while. Have you talked to him in a while, Dan?
Yeah, talked to Sean.
Sean's witnessed Mad Bum in that Game 7 in Kansas City.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
him walking out.
That was just awesome. I know, man.
And the crowd just going silent. It's like one of my favorite memories. Like you could just tell, like he sucked the soul out of Kansas before he even got to the mound.
You could hear the proverbial, oh shit.
Yeah.
In the entire stadium.
Especially when they didn't cash in when they had the chance in the 5th. They had him a little bit in that early. They got a couple guys on.
Yes, they did.
And as soon as they didn't cash in,
look, if you don't get the ace,
you're done.
If you don't get the ace when you have a chance, you usually don't get them afterwards. We saw that tonight. Nope. The Dodgers did not get to Webb in the first, and he shut him down.
And that's been
now we can actually agree upon that, Giovanni. We can actually agree the greatest postseason performance by a pitcher. I mean, Don Larson, kind of hard to top, perfect game, but But for the moment, that was game 1 or 2 in the World Series.
This is game 7. Yeah,
that was just epic. I mean,
that was so awesome, man.
Gosh, and I could watch. I've watched it probably 50 times.
Oh, I know. I got it on DVD.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep pulling it up.
What's a DVD?
DVD, yeah.
Timmy against the Braves in 2010.
What do you have, Eric? You have DVD?
Yeah, how about that?
Jeez, be careful.
I know. Spreading.
Oh, man. Man, well, we've been going an hour and a half. I think we've kind of
covered it all. Yeah.
Yeah. We have covered it. So tomorrow's an off day, and look for us to put a video out tomorrow sometime. Yeah, I'm not sure. hopefully I get the phone. I've got a scheduled interview tomorrow afternoon with the author of the book. Hold on, I'll pull it up here.
Kyle, Ned Yost.
Oh, wait a minute. He just interview confirmation. Hey, Dan, I want to confirm interview with Dan tomorrow, 1 p.m. The interview will be via Zoom, but please use 201-79. Oh, no. Okay. Oops. I almost said the number. As backup numbers again, the title of the book, we're interviewing an author, Home Run King by Dan Schlossberg from Atlanta. And this is a book on the remarkable record of Hank Aaron. So
You said by Zoom?
Yeah, I gotta say that.
You better contact him.
Yeah.
That's not how we do it.
Yeah.
You bet, Kyle.
True.
Ned Yost was a solid manager for a while.
He
There.
was. Did you hear about the freak accident he had? He almost died.
No.
He fell out of a tree stand, broke his pelvis, almost died.
Ow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did not hear about it. Was this recent or?
No. This was shortly after, I think, the World Series, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
They had a good couple of years there, 2014, 2015.
Yeah. I was happy for them that they got it in 2015.
Yeah, that was cool.
I mean, when the Giants were out of it and everything.
Oh, remember
I was happy for them.
The Harvey game? Oh, everyone wanted them send him back out, send him back out.
Harvey
and then he gets
fought
rocked.
for it.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he got rocked.
I mean, Conforto had a big World Series. I think people forget that. He had a couple homers in that series.
Who was that?
Conforto did.
That's right.
I think he had a 2-homer game as a rookie, I think it was.
Yeah, ripped to the 2010s.
Yeah. Maybe we'll see a decent team here in the 2020s. Yeah, we already had one, actually, in 2021. Those are...
Hold on, I'm just finishing up a text here.
Will Martinez says, Dan, Eric, I know you guys got some kind of connect to get Sabian on here. Whoa. It would probably have to be after a day game since he's on these. That would be awesome to get Sabian.
You let me know if you get him. I want to be in on that.
I think a lot of people are going to be on that one.
We may be able to do that.
That would be
cool.
awesome.
Ask him if he can loan Farhan some balls so he can make some moves.
See, that's something we're going to have to stay. I get what you're saying, but we'll have to. As much as I want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Look, man, yeah. So, all right, guys. So, look for that interview to be posted sometime tomorrow. Eric, you'll probably want to just make that link tonight and send it to me so that I can get it to him in the morning.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah.
Just a link. It doesn't, we can.
Yeah. Because it's not going to even be, it's just going to be pre-recorded. Yeah.
Yeah. We can create a thumbnail later, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'll download it and upload it and all that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess I'll have to read the email more about the book. I didn't get the copy of the book.
That's not good.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to interview. I need to know a little. Well, I guess we'll just have to keep it kind of like somewhat generic.
We'll wing it, man. Like we do every night.
Yeah. We'll wing it. So the Dodgers were not able. We didn't bring out the broomsticks. Didn't want to have to see the broomsticks on a Giants channel. We used to love to bring out the broomsticks when the Giants were winning. Man,
maybe we'll get to do that this season.
Cody, did you watch the show last night?
No, I didn't actually catch any of yesterday's. I usually will hop in here.
You need to go watch the beginning because Dan snapped his cap.
Oh,
Dan
actually, you know what? I did. I
snapped his cap.
take that back. A buddy of mine who jumps in on here too.
He told you he must
He
feel
texted
good.
me and he goes, "Dan's got the Dodger hat on." So I was like, "Oh shit!" So I jumped.
Yeah, you ain't
in,
gonna live that
and I
one down,
backed it
Dan.
up, and I was cracking up.
No,
and Michael,
I didn't see any. Was there any comments on the? I only
You know,
saw
I haven't
one
even
comment.
looked.
I only
somebody
saw
said
one.
I had to ask you about the Farhan song.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome, isn't it?
It's out there.
I haven't heard it, but I'll have to.
Oh, you
was
haven't
it on
heard it?
yesterday's? Is it on yesterday's?
Yeah, it's on yesterday's.
Yeah.
Yep.
The one I've been itching to do, if I ever get the energy to go through
You're
it,
muted, Dan.
was when we had to deal with Tom Murphy letting everything by him. I was gonna put a compilation together and slap the Benny Hill
nice.
song on top of it and play it like 2 times speed.
Nice. Nice. What do we got here? Glenn, I want a guy like Matt Stairs, someone who just can grip it and rip it. That's all they do today, though. He was kind of ahead of his time. Matt Stairs was ahead of his time because that's all anyone does today.
You got Soler, who you'd like to think at
Yeah,
some
that didn't
point is
work
going to go through one of his heaters.
I don't know, man. I'm not too excited about seeing him come back. That's just me.
No, he's one of those guys that when he gets hot, he can hit like 10 homers in a month.
But he's hitting
then
mistake
you also
pitches.
yeah.
And that's the thing. They know how to pitch to him now.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah. 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 Logan Webb just said he has done a good job at pitching. Logan Webb just said he has done a good job at pitching for the last 2 years in his postgame. You know, I thought about Webb last night and today, and I thought this is going to go one of two ways this game. Logan Webb is going to shut them down because he's got pride and he's going to really, shut him down, or he's going to, get knocked around. I didn't see any middle ground like, oh, he goes 6 innings and gives up 2 or 3 runs, So it was kind of cool. You think about it, that he was able to shut the team down because this was pretty much a pivotal game, because you lose tonight, you're floundering and you're 7 under 500. And there's, even though you're not out of it, I mean, they're a game and a half out. So they're 2 out after, if they lost tonight, 2.5, who cares? 1.5, 2.5. But the feeling of it's an avalanche of everything just piling up and just coming down on you. This gives a little bit of a retaining wall for a day or two, Now, if you go and sweep the Rockies, you actually go on the road trip only 2 under 5. Wait, what are they now? 6 under?
5.
Yeah, 5 under. They're 25 and 20. You sweep the Rockies, you're 2 under. But if you lose 2 or 3, now you're back to 6 under, and it's kind of like, so you gotta win at least 2 or 3 against Colorado, and ideally, if you win 2 or 3, win the first 2 and get your first 3-game winning streak.
Yeah. They really need at least like a 4 or 5 game winning streak. At some point.
They do.
Like in the worst way.
Yeah.
It's just... Okay. Here's a question to ask you. We're getting ready to start a Colorado series come Friday. How do you think that turns out? Think Colorado's going to stay hot? I mean, you are coming to Oracle Park. It's not like you're playing in Colorado.
Yeah, I mean,
well, Colorado, didn't they win the 3-game series in Texas, or was it in Colorado?
Yeah.
Good question.
I know they won in San Diego. They swept in San Diego. Were they? Let me look.
They were in San Diego. That's right.
Yeah, I mean, obviously their pitching doesn't impress me, but I mean the Giants have an uncanny ability to make any guy look like a Cy Young candidate. So
okay, they were at home against Texas, but they
were at home. Yeah.
I mean, what do we got? We're gonna have Harrison.
I don't think
tomorrow's the Snell spot. Is Snell's not? or not.
I think
Friday.
it's a bullpen game. No, it can't be a bullpen game. They might skip. They might start Harrison because of the day off.
Yeah. So it might be what Harrison, Hicks, Win, Black.
No, it ain't gonna be Win.
Whoever
They said
he's
he's probably gonna miss a couple of starts. I think that's
okay. So bring Black up and make.
Who would it
Black
be? Harrison. Who would be Harrison?
Maybe Harrison, Hicks.
And then it's should have been Win, right? But it's not gonna be.
Yeah, it would be Win normally. Because the normal would have been Snell's spot, whatever that would have been, and then Harrison, Hicks, Win. So if they skip Snell, which would make sense, I mean, I would start Black personally over Win.
Put Win on the IL. Just put him on the IL. Yeah,
that's me. Yeah, I mean, I could see them taking at least two of those. I mean, I think they'll win at least Hicks start. And Harrison's been throwing the ball well. I mean, he kind of shoved him around last time in Colorado.
Yeah.
You should win two minimum.
Well,
like
Wei Wu Wei
regardless
makes a
of how
good
they're
point.
playing.
Wei Wu Wei says Giants play down to their competition, which is not a sign of a very good team. You don't never want to play down to. You always got to be ready to go out there, no matter who you're playing.
Too bad they don't play up to their competition to go with that.
Yeah, right. Oh.
They might have less problems if they at least played up to the competition at the same time. And also, is it playing down to your competition when you're also 5 games under 500?
Yeah.
Or is it just playing to the level?
Or playing 2. You're playing 2.
Yeah.
Not down.
It looks like so when they go to Pittsburgh, it'll be Webb to open up the series, and then Snell will pitch game 2 on Wednesday on 4 days rest.
Are they going to face Skeens?
I think they are going to face Skeens on one of the. Let me see. He
is filthy. His stuff is electric. Kind of reminded me when when Timmy made his debut and he got knocked around a little bit, but he makes it
look so easy when he just and he's throwing 100.
Yeah, Skeens will be Thursday, the last game.
Yeah, that guy's special.
Whew.
Right now, they've got Win scheduled for Tuesday and Webb Wednesday, but I think they with the off day Thursday, and they have an off day Monday. So
yeah, they'll skip a start at least.
Yeah,
they'll have to fill Win spot, but they'll skip at least Snell's.
Yeah,
and then Snell will return. I think Black gets pulled back up for Win personally if they do put him on the IL and they'll let him make another start. But
I
don't think they want to go wear out the bullpen, even with the days off.
Right.
Well, A's are back to losing again, aren't they? They were 500, now they're 7 under.
Yep.
Stripling must have pitched.
Yeah. They were playing, I think, weren't they playing Texas? I think they were playing Texas.
How'd the games go tonight? We should close with that. We haven't even looked at the out of town. No, I'll just forget it. I'm not going to. Yeah. You know what? Let's see. Orioles, I think, won to keep their streak alive of not being swept or something. I read that somewhere. Rockies pounded the Padres 8-0. Wow.
8-0. Yep.
Well, if they bring their bats, they could beat the Giants because we know the Giants don't score.
Is Nolan Jones up yet? Is he off the IL or is he still hurt? That kid can mash.
Speaking of IL, I heard
he didn't play today.
No, he didn't.
I heard Major League Baseball is changing the IL. They're no longer going to, it used to be the DL, then they changed it to the IL. Yeah, I heard they're changing it to the KB.
What's the punchline?
The Chris Bryant list. You're on the Chris Bryant. Does that guy just live on the IL? I mean,
that's tough.
I mean, Since he left the Giants for 22, has he played? I mean, has he played 25, 50 games? I mean, the guy, he misses every game.
Yeah, I don't think he's played more than like 70 games in a season in the two years that he's
Yeah,
been
it's
there.
been rough.
Yeah, I'd have to look, but I don't think he's played more than like around 70 games.
I'm just going to look him up just for the because that. I mean, they dodged a bullet there. Okay, Chris Bryant.
I think Chris Bryant cares about baseball more than Anthony Rendon, but maybe not.
Yeah, I know.
Colorado.
He got his paycheck, but he's like, I don't care.
Oh
about
yeah,
that.
there's another guy, Rendon. He doesn't. Okay, here's in 21, the season he came to the Giants. He played in a total of 144 games. In 22, he played in 42 games. And last year, he played in 80 games. So less than half. And then this year, he's played in 13. Gosh. And Anthony Rendon's worse.
Yeah, he's got like a
Rendon
broken bone.
doesn't even like the game. He's just like, yeah, I just show up to get paid. Like,
Yeah,
hey, I mean, at least he's being honest, right?
I mean, I guess.
I wouldn't want. Don't get me wrong. I want to root for him, but at least he's not making an excuse.
I'll tell you, these guys are ruining it for contracts. Look at the contracts. Who got the big contracts this year before they ever played a game? It was Holiday, and there was Cole Keith.
Churio.
But Cole Keith is stinking for Detroit.
Yeah, he is.
He got a big contract too.
It's a risk.
It's like I'm telling you guys, man. It's tough. There's only
Braves
so
hit a
many
bunch
stars.
of guys, and I think didn't the Diamondbacks do it with Carroll?
Yeah, they did.
It's a risk. It can pay off in tremendous fashion for you, but
has Carroll started to hit yet, or not so much?
I'm looking him up right now. I don't know what he's hitting. Let me see. He is hitting 193.
Woo!
No, Bart got his average back up another 30 or 40 points. He had hit the skids a little, and he's got a couple.
Wow, like Corbin Carroll, 193, 2 home runs with a 0.0 WAR.
Oh,
I wonder what Matos's WAR is, just because of the game saving and Ramos.
I know. Ramos was at 0.5 for the season.
That's pretty good for a week.
His defense, not including today, because obviously like Fangraphs and all that, they haven't updated today, but he was worth like 5 defensive runs saved already, and like 1 out of average.
Wow.
Yeah, his outfield. I think that's something. It's funny. You listen to the what the scouts say on some of these guys, and I know a lot of people soured on Ramos, saying like, "Oh, the glove's not that good," and the only real tool he has, he hits it hard and he has a good arm. And then you see him playing, it's like, this guy is still a really good defensive player. Like, and then I saw on Baseball Savant, he's like 74th or 73rd percentile on sprint speed. I'm like, yeah, maybe he's not going to be an elite 5 tool guy, but he definitely has 4+ tools.
Right.
Yeah, I've always thought Ramos. I interviewed him last year. We should put that interview up sometime in the next few days, Eric.
Yeah, play it during the live.
Yeah, play. We should have played it the other night when Ramos did well. But I like the kid. I am, a lot of you guys think, I can't stand, Farhan, and it is true. I can't stand his job performance. But I don't. I want I want the young guys to succeed. I really do. I want Ramos to succeed. I want Matos and Schmitt and Sable and Jung-Hoo Lee and Luciano and and Bailey. I want to see these guys. I wanted Bart to succeed. I like seeing homegrown talents succeed, because if you get success from that, it's like, I don't want to see, I love Michael Conforto personally. He's one of the coolest dudes. He sat and gave me a 20-minute interview on the field last year. And just a really good guy. I'm trying to think of other guys I've interviewed that, almost all the players. I can't say a player that probably the most difficult guy to interview for me was Jock Peterson. He was just kind of like hard to, you could tell he didn't want to do it. He was just kind of short answers. All the other guys, the Rogers brothers, Sean Jelly, Sean Mania, Cobb, he was super cool, was John Brebbia.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Joey Bart was very cool. I thought Joey Bart was a really good interview.
Well, and listen to him when he came back to San Francisco and how he talked about the organization and the people. I mean, that's a guy that had every right to just kind of wave his middle fingers at the Giants, the way he was jerked around and messed with in his time here. And I mean, yeah, did he perform well enough? No, but I mean, he would have been a better backup option than Tom Murphy. That's not even debatable. Like and he came back and he just had nothing but class.
Well, I don't understand the whole thing I never got the whole Murphy thing because Bart was a perfect ideal backup catcher. He wasn't costing you anything, and he's your homegrown guy, and he hadn't had a lot of at bats. He's not going to
on his fourth concussion.
Is it his fourth?
If you go back and look at his college and professional career, this is now his dude's like one foul ball. The guy's one foul tip away from his career being over. Like you never know.
It makes me wonder if there may have to be a position change, or he just has Mike Matheny, right?
Yeah, I mean, you just never know. I mean, I hope.
Are you serious? This is you know what?
One of the guys, other Dan that I get on my show on Thursdays usually, he was telling me, he's like, yeah, they went back and looked at his college career, and he had a couple in college, and now he's had 2 in the majors in the last year, and it's
not good.
It's like, and now he's having like extended symptoms and things like that, and it's just you don't want anything to go wrong, but at that position, you just never know. I mean, he could take one more foul tip, and it could be done for him. Like
I'm not upset for the for the Giants, like as a fan, like, oh shoot, they're going to miss Bailey. I'm upset for the fact that this guy's career is in jeopardy and his health.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Put the playing aside, just his quality of life could be ruined.
It sucks. I can tell you from experience, it sucks. And
Matheny said it impacted him for years.
See, exactly.
Mine did too. I was saying this on the show the other night. I got a concussion in 2016. And then 2020, I just decided I was out in the park and I decided to playing catch and I started throwing pop-ups and, just camping under them and catching them. And I was throwing them super high and but I got disoriented for a few days and the headaches came back 4 years later and I was symptom free. But what happened is I triggered something because that part of the brain and fourth one. Yeah. Thank you, Ryan. Really appreciate that. Appreciate you coming on the other night too. If that's the case, and you know what? I think they're considering maybe putting him on the 60-day soon.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe not soon, but within.
Maybe that's why they got Casale.
Oh, they definitely got Casale because they're. It's funny. I put out the other night a tweet and I said, I sure hope he's not experiencing a relapse of concussion symptoms because I've had him, and then some guy responds to me and says, relax, it's a cold. Then the next day it's like, maybe there's something more to it.
Yeah, exactly.
I kind of, when they said, he was scratched literally 2 to 3 minutes before the game.
Yeah.
I said to myself, that's no cold. Like, you come on. You're gonna
Play
go
for
out more.
fun.
Go out more. Hey, coach, I got a headache. My nose is running, or whatever. I bet his head started throbbing, and
Maybe.
and they thought, oh, it's a head cold.
The sinuses, probably, right?
Sinuses. Yeah. No, he's got lingering
Concussion
issues, and I'm gonna guess you don't see him for weeks. I don't know how many weeks, but weeks, as in plural.
Remember Belt had a
he got a concussion. He was down.
It knocked him out for months.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
and that's only after having one concussion.
Yeah.
Granted,
that guy had the worst injury luck I've ever seen in a like the most
crazy. I know.
Fouling a ball off his face and like got hit with an errant throw.
And real quick, Luis Matos WAR -0.1.
Yeah, they don't have his RBI single in his robbery.
Oh, and that was a true run save tonight.
Yes.
That was
That's so. What is that when you do that? Is that +1? Is that what that is?
Yeah, I think that's how they would put it.
Then he would
I'm
be
sure.
just on that. He would be even, and then the RBI single would be so he'd be.
I don't know how they calculate it.
I don't know how they do it. My guess is he's +0.1.
Yeah.
After tonight.
Yeah. I hope he keeps it up. I hope him and Ramos just keep hanging and
yeah, man. Yeah. We're gonna if they, remember how it was what we had this Pacific Sock Exchange with Kevin Mitchell and Will Clark, right? And then Willie McCovey and Willie Mays. I can't remember what was their nickname, Eric. Do you remember? Drawing a blank. But we've got one for Ramos and Matos. We coined it right here accidentally. Slip of the tongue. Ratos.
It's
better Don't forget, we got Slaz.
We got Slaz and we got Ratos, and or you can go if Matos becomes the star, then it becomes Mamos. Nice. Mamos. But hey, did you see him in the offseason and think that there was a possibility that I mean, when he was bulking up, did you think, oh gosh, I hope he's not juicing?
No, well, when I heard it was like 14 pounds in
the way he looked in the video, that had me suspicious. He looked
because I've seen some people say, accusing me like, aren't you the guy that accused him? We never accused him. We
were just asking the question.
I think you always wonder in today's day and age, but with how with training regiments and how much information there is out there, and for a guy that was 22 years old, right, it's not unreasonable to put on 14 pounds of muscle. I mean, it's the thing I've seen with Matos the most, and I saw this in SAC when he got sent down. We kind of touched on it a little bit. He was trying to pull everything over the fence and left.
Right. And if he could just go with the opposite way instead of a lot, he'll be,
You look at his, if you look at the batted ball metrics and stuff for him, and I don't mean like the exit velocities and stuff, his line drive percentage is down, his fly ball percentage is up, and his pull percentage is way up, and the, center and right field are both down. So it's like, go back to hitting line drives, go back to using the whole field, and let the power come to you.
Yeah, absolutely. He can turn on that inside pitch, as we saw the other night. But
guy wants to hang one,
Yeah, that was awesome off Yamamoto. But well, guys, we're just coming up on the 2-hour mark, and we're going to end it right here. We'll be back live Friday night, approximately 10 o'clock, because the game starts at 7:15 on Fridays.
That's tough.
I know. Maybe we should start our show and come in live.
We could do that. What day is that? Friday?
Friday.
Yeah, you want to do it Friday? We could maybe cover the last.
Maybe we come in about 9:45.
Come in the top of the ninth and then cover the bottom and the top.
Yeah,
I can always do that on like Wednesdays if you guys want to start with the game still going.
Yeah, let's do
Maybe we'll do that.
Let's do it. You know what? What do you think? 9:30 or 9:45?
It's up to you. Let's go 9:30. Why not? So wherever the game is at 9:30, we'll
Yeah, we'll just
be
do
in
it in-game
It's the
live.
8th inning,
7th inning, hopefully.
somewhere around there.
I mean, it's probably going to be 7th, 8th inning. We can,
Yeah.
we can watch it on our phones. You can watch it on your phone, right, Eric?
I don't know if I can't do that. I'll just watch the dots. I don't care. No big deal.
Okay. Yeah.
I just don't want to have the radio on because if you pick it up, then they're gonna, hammer us.
Yeah. Well, what I'll do is I'll put it on and I'll put my volume on my screen down.
Yeah.
I mean, on my phone, and then I'll just sit here and
Okay,
hold it
cool.
up and watch it.
I won't spoil it or nothing. I'll just watch the dots, but you can.
I can do some play-by-play,
Yeah,
right?
there you go.
Are we allowed to do play-by-play? Yeah, as long as.
Yeah. It's not. It's your own voice. You're not using the game audio.
Yeah. Okay.
Tomorrow, though.
As long as you're not showing the picture.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Line drive.
Tomorrow, I will be live. I am going to have an episode of Military History Chronicles tomorrow night, 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
All right.
Tomorrow night.
There it is. There it is, everybody. Yeah, you can Stream East. That's right. I've used Stream East, Johnny T. Stream East, you can pull it up on your phone, Eric. Stream East, you can watch the game.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm out of state, so I got MLB TV. I'm just gonna have.
me too.
Me
Me
you
too.
Guys are.
Only
true.
me. I'm the one that's in the market. So
Yeah, I got MLB TV too, but I got something else, and Eric's got it too. And we get everything. We get everything.
It's awesome.
Yeah. If you want to hear about it, let me know. It's only $19.99. No. But awesome, guys. Yeah, Military History Chronicles tomorrow at
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. And then I'd say we'll post the interview tomorrow night. What do you think? About 6 or 7 o'clock tomorrow night?
Yeah, whenever. Maybe
Just
a little bit
post it.
earlier. I mean, you just can put it up anytime. It's just whenever you want to watch it.
True. Yeah. Yeah. So and
tomorrow
then
night, Moji. We'll see you over there.
All right, guys. Giants win it 4-1. It's the type of ball game they have to play to win. Score 4 and hold the opponent to less.
Hey, that's pretty good. I like that.
I mean, they can do it with 3, but generally, when they score 4, they win more than they lose.
This is a series that you have to win. Do I dare say it's a must win, not because it's like the series or the season's on the line, but it's a must win because it's a team below you. You got to beat the teams below you.
Plus, you're going out on a 6-game road trip where you have struggled on the road, and you don't want to go 6. You don't want to go on a road trip 6 under.
No.
You want right now they're 5 under. You want to be minimum 4 and ideally 2.
Right.
The Giants can either leave on this road trip 2 games under 500 with a sweep. If they win 2 and lose 1, they're going to be 4 under. If they lose 2, they're going to be 6 under. And if they get swept, which would be the nightmare of nightmares, they go on a road trip 8 under 500.
Yeah, don't want that.
Yeah, it can swing all the way from 8 under 500 to only 2 under 500. I think the most likely scenario is they leave 4 under, meaning they win the series 2 of 3. So, but we'll talk more about that Friday. Catch us 9:30
Friday night,
and the game will
may be.
Still be going on. It's not an Apple TV game, is it?
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
I hope not. If it is, I can get it on I still get that too. But anyway, we'll be back 9:30 tomorrow night. Eric will be on Military History Chronicles tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. You're not going to want to miss that show. He'll have General Patton on. And he likes those old guys.
Live from the grave, yeah.
General Patton, and along with General Abner Doubleday.
Was it the ghost of Stonewall Jackson that was on Anchorman 2 or whatever?
Oh man!
And Honus Wagner will be
Honus
Eric's special guest. Dan, what's the streaming site? Oh, the one Stream East, I think it is. Hold on, I'll tell you right now. Let me plug it in here.
MacArthur and the corncob pipe.
What is that? Stream East. Hold on. Oh, it's the.
The
Wait, can I put that? Let me just put it in the chat here. Can I do that? Will it be okay? Or
sure, go for it.
the stream. Got to cut through all the ads. There you go.
Kyle Martinez, the Stream East.
There it is, right there. .2.
That sounds like some suspect stuff there.
Maybe I should.
No, I'm just.
Feel that. I don't
doesn't
know.
look right to me. I'm just saying it doesn't look right to me.
It's out there, works. But that was.
Better check your bank account after you use that thing. Oh man.
All right, guys. Everybody have a great one. We'll see you Friday night. Don't forget MHC tomorrow night, 8:00.
Yep.
Should be good. Will be Mr. AI Suni. Suno or Suni?
Suno. S-U-N-O.
Yeah. Why don't you play us out with that song and just don't do our close. Can you pull that up?
You want to do that?
Yeah, let's close with that. Close it with that song.
Which one?
Farhan Must Go or whatever that one.
The Farhan Must Go one?
Yeah. Let's close it out with that. That'll be our closing and
Let me find this damn thing.
and we won't use the once it's over, we'll just end the stream.
Sounds good. Hold on. Is this the one? I think this is the one. Here.
All right, everybody. We'll see you Friday night.
I'll see you guys tomorrow night, 8:00, and then we'll see the rest of NorCal, folks. Friday night, 9:30, with in-game presentations. How about that?
And enjoy the song, everybody.
Here we go.
Have a great one.
Well, the sun is sinking low in the California sky, and I'm sitting here thinking, got our hands ready. He's been running our team, but it's just gone astray. It's time to say goodbye. We can't let him stay. He came in promising wins, but it's all been a lie. Oh, Farhan, you're the worst, no need to deny. Trading for hugs, making the worst calls. It's time to say goodbye. You've caught the ball, Farhan Zaidi. It's time for you to go. Your decisions have left us feeling low. We need a new leader, someone to bring us pride. Farhan Zaidi, say goodbye. Farhan Zaidi, it's time to say goodbye. It's time to say goodbye. Farhan Zaidi, it's time.